Hello, you are listening to the radio show Hugs Online. The show is presented by CEI and supported by Erasmus Plus, and we are volunteers from all over Europe. And our topic today is traditions. It is inspired by today's day, Halloween, and because we do not particularly celebrate Halloween, we decided to talk about traditions in our countries. And we would like to start by introducing ourselves. My name is Naitis and I am from Iceland.
My name is Turtis and I'm also from Iceland.
My name is Yava from Lithuania.
I'm Victoria from Ukraine.
My name is Katank, I'm from Hungary.
We would like to ask you if you have any traditions in your countries that are similar to Halloween, or if you at all do Halloween in your countries or not.
No, we don't have anything like Halloween in Lithuania, but we celebrate the next day, which is in Lithuanian it's Visų Šventųjų diena. It's basically saying the Day of All Saints. But during that day, we usually visit cemeteries and light some candles. Just usually the day before, which is today, we just take care of the cemeteries, plant some flowers or put something just to make it look beautiful.
So Halloween in Hungary is not important also, but there are some traditions that are very good. For example, and very funny. Busho walk. The Busho people wear traditional clothes at carnival time, and according to tradition, they chase away the winter. And besides it, Kisse doll. The Kisse doll is burned when winter is over and spring is coming. And the other Luca's chair. It is on a Luca's day. That day is a day of witches. Yes, and chairs are made by people at that time. Luca's day is 13th December. So this is Hungarian traditions.
So in Iceland we don't celebrate Halloween, but we started like celebrating it a few years ago. So it's basically that kids walk around the neighborhood and go to like people's houses, and like in my neighborhood it's like if you put a candle outside your house, then kids can come and like get candy. But if there isn't any candle, then the house is not up for candy giving. But yeah, so it's just like the small kids that do it, and there aren't many kids who do it.
Yeah, in Ukraine it's also not a tradition to celebrate Halloween.
But we have another day. It's always in February, and it's called Öskudagur, which means Ash Day. And I think in some other countries it's called Ash Wednesday, because it's always on a Wednesday. And that's a day. Well, there used to be a tradition about having ash in some small bags, and you were supposed to like pin them on the back of some persons, and without them noticing it. So it was like sort of a game. I don't really understand what the meaning by it is, but somehow it evolved into this costume day. And kids in Iceland, they dress up in costumes. Don't have to be scary like Halloween costumes, just anything. And they go to all kind of shops and boutiques and everything like that, and they sing. They have to sing a song so that they can earn some candy. So maybe 3 or 4 go together and they decide to sing one song together, and they get a full bag of candy out of it. But and it used to be like a holiday so that the kids could go and sing for candy, but I think it's not anymore. I remember in my school we used to have just like these where like the teachers had their stations and we sang for the teachers and they gave us something instead. And I didn't go like trick-or-treating, but some people did.
In Lithuania, we also have this celebration called Užgavėnės. In that day, it's also to chase away winter. We also burn like a female figure made of straw. She's called More. And we also, on that day, we like to eat pancakes. I don't know why it came to be, but yeah, pancakes. And we also wear like scary masks. It's just in order to chase away the winter and invite the spring to come. On that day also, like, it's a school celebration too, and kids always celebrate it in like after class, and it's always the burning of More. And also there's a fight of two people. One is a fat person. He's called Lashininis, and he's the representation of winter. And then there's a thin one, which is called Kanapinis, and he's a representation of spring. So they fight, and the Kanapinis has to win, so that winter would just go away.
Well, we have actually the same. We call it the holiday of Maslana, and usually it falls on the last week before the 40 days fast before Easter, and so it's always on different day, but it's like can be at the end of February or beginning of March, and it's like a pagan one. So we make pancakes and we eat pancakes every day for the whole week. Yeah, and they can be like with meat, with mushrooms, or with sweet fillings. And also people make folk dances and games. Yeah, and at the end of the week we burn like a lady made of hay, so like a winter that you burn, so like to chase it away as well. Yeah.
Wait, you burn what?
It's like a lady made out of straw and dressed like a woman.
Okay.
Yeah, we celebrate it 46 days before Easter. That's so it's also usually on the end of February or the beginning of March, sometime in between.
I talked about Ash Wednesday, or Öskudagur as it's called in Icelandic. And it's a part of some kind of a celebration. It's connected to our Old Norse
Calendar.
yeah, in the Old Norse calendar we had different months. So there was a month, it's called Þorri, and it started on 12th of January, around 12th of January, and the first day of that is called the Husband Day. So that's the day when wives are supposed to be nice to their husbands.
And the wives should give their husband a flower.
And for the rest of the year they shouldn't.
No.
And then in Þorri, this month, we have a week where we celebrate on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. And on Monday, it's called Bolludagur. It means bun day, sort of like. So it's like these buns, like bread buns, and they have chocolate coating or caramel coating or something like that, and they have whipped cream inside and jam and everything like that, and people eat that the whole day. Oh, okay, maybe not.
No, we eat it for a whole week, or at least I do, because I like them so much. They're so good.
So every like bakery is full of these buns, and it's the busiest day of the year. And also in my home we always had like fish cakes, which is called fiskibollur.
At my home also, like the dinner part always had to be like balls, meatballs or fish balls or something like that. Always balls.
And then on the Tuesday, it's called Sprengidagur, or Bomb Day. And it is about, we are supposed to like finish all our food. Or that was like the ancient thing, that they finished all the meat and everything on this day. So we always have this, this meal that's called...
It's like bean soup. And there's like this meat in it that's like really salty, and it's so good. It's like basically beans and the meat, and then we have like some root vegetables with it.
So Yeah, that's like it's like you're finishing the rest of your meat you have like in the ancient times on this day.
But like the funny part is that like now this meat is very expensive, so like you, so like it's expensive to eat it.
Because we haven't been storing it in like wooden shelves or something. But yeah, and then I think it was like a thing that they didn't eat meat for like some time. It's like a fast, some kind of like a carnival or like meat bye bye festival. Yeah. So. So on this day we always eat this bean soup with salted meat, and then on the Wednesday there is the ash day with the costumes. And when Þorri this month is, then we have a thing called Þorrablót, which is like a festive. It's like you said a pagan. It's like a pagan thing because it was in the North mythology, and it's just where people come together. They drink a lot. They eat a lot of disgusting food. That's traditional Icelandic food. It's smoked. It's salty. It's disgusting.
The food is basically it's shark. It's like rotten shark meat. It's boiled sheep's head. It's congealed sheep's blood wrapped in ram stomachs, and it's like we eat the horses' balls. Yeah, rams, and
Wait.
like.
If it's disgusting, why do you eat it?
Well, I don't eat it. The only thing that I eat is like hangikjöt, which is like a kind of like smoked lamb meat, and then I eat like that's all I eat basically. Because like I don't like it. Like my mom and dad, they eat a little bit of it, but like my grandparents, they eat all of it. Like they like everything, but like me not so much.
I think it's just the way you're brought up. If it's like a normal thing and this is something that you do, then it is something you will do the rest of your
You
life.
can't
But
give it up.
yeah, no, but I'm not used to eating everything, and like I don't eat meat anymore, so
Yeah, and I would also like to say the reason why Sprengidagur is called like bomb day is because you were supposed to eat so much that you would actually like burst. Because it was you were supposed to eat so much, yeah.
yeah, to finish all that you had. And then when Þorri is finished, then we have the next month, which is called Goa. And on first day of Goa, it's the wife's day. Yeah.
At
So
least it's fair.
yeah. So it's all about equality. No, so the husband is supposed to be very nice to the woman and give her flowers. So we sort of have this Valentine's Day that's split into two with a month between. One is for the man and the other one is for the woman. But that's kind of unfair if they're homosexual. I've never thought about it before. But
They just like use the other day and give each other gifts.
yeah. But do you have anything similar to any of these celebrations?
We only have Mother's Day and Father's Day. Mother's Day is the first Sunday of May, and then the next month, the first Sunday of June is Father's Day. So usually the kids with the other parent just give gifts to the one whose celebration it is. Also on March 8th we have Women's Day. It's like just to celebrate all women.
Just old women.
No.
Oh,
all
I
the
thought you
women.
said old women. I was like, why? Okay, so it's Women's Day.
Yeah.
Okay, is it like the International Women's Day?
They call it international, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not celebrated in the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah. In ours, it's like kind of post-Soviet.
Okay, okay.
Because in Ukraine now they want to like cancel celebrating it because it was brought to us in Soviet time, because before it wasn't celebrated.
Okay.
And now it's really decolonizing everything and giving up on everything that was related to Soviet times. We're just trying to give it up, but women say it's not fair. Yeah, and we also have in Ukraine Father's and Mother's Day. I don't remember when is the Father's Day, but the Mother's is in May.
Yeah. We also have like a Women's Day, sort of, but it's originated from a women's strike they had in 1975 on October 21st. 4th. So we celebrate it every year, and then we're just remembering how unequal the system is yet today. And women then were trying to get recognition and
Basically, they were like getting the recognition of that they had participated in the community of Icelandic Work Society, and that they deserved the like honors that the men got for like building up our economy.
so every year they like calculate how much salary difference is between the sexes, and so at the time, like if a woman gets like 80% of what a man earns for the same day, then when the 80% of the day is finished, all the women, they stop working and they go. And like we had this also in our school, then like at I don't know what time it was, at 2 or something, we just left because
You mean
We-
from school?
Yes.
You didn't go to classes?
no, yeah, from school, and the women also, the teachers who were women did it as well, because they're just saying we're not getting equally paid, and why should we be working more when we don't get the same? So yeah, and that's the Women's Day in Iceland. Um,
Yeah, like as we told, we celebrate on 8th of March, Women's Day, but in Ukraine it's not called like Men's Day, but mostly like for defenders, for the army people, we celebrate. We actually have two. One is for Ukrainian army in December, 7th of December, and in October, on 14th of October, we also celebrate like the defenders of Ukraine Day, or like Cossacks of Ukraine. So yeah, we also have it.
In Lithuania on Women's Day, everyone gives women flowers. And last year, I remember I read an article about how police were stopping women and giving them flowers, like in the street. It was kind of fun.
so is there no day for men?
Not that I can think about.
Maybe because all of the other days are for men.
Yeah, probably.
You're listening to the radio show Hugs Online, presented by CEI and supported by Erasmus Plus. And we are talking about traditions today because we were inspired by Halloween. And also we were inspired by the day that is tomorrow, a Bulgarian holiday. And Vika is going to explain the day to us.
Oh, well, as I understood, tomorrow is like the day of national like writers. In Bulgarian they call it like Ден на народните будители. So it's like the people who brought education to people, built schools, started teaching them Bulgarian language and writing. So now they celebrate it every year, and it's a national holiday. Yeah.
And we went to a school earlier today, and there they read some poems, probably by these men, and we
Yeah.
saw they made illustrations where they draw like a piece of paper and a feather pen
Yeah,
and
like
something like that.
alphabet,
Mhm.
a written alphabet.
So we were wondering if our countries had a day that's similar to this day.
Yes, we have. All Saints' Day is a celebration of all Christian saints, particularly those who have no special feast days of their own. In Hungary, church services in memory of all. The saints are held on November 1st, but by the evening the focus turns towards the dead. Cemeteries everywhere are crowded with people who come to clean and decorate family graves. It's very, very important in Hungary.
In Ukraine, we also have like the day of Ukrainian writing and language, and it's celebrated in November as well as in Bulgaria, but on 9th of November. And it was established as a holiday in honor of Ukrainian chronicler Saint Nestor, who was the follower of the creators of Slavic alphabet, like Cyril and Methody. And this day, the Day of Ukrainian Writing Language, it's not only the public but also religious holiday. It's like the first in the modern Ukrainian language product that meets the Byzantine primary sources called Orthodox. Something was concerned with religious. I don't know. Yeah.
In Lithuania, we don't have a day like just the anything similar. But on September 1st, we call the day of education and knowledge. But it's usually just celebrated the first day of school.
Well, in Iceland, we have a day for the Icelandic language, and it is on 16th of November each year. And
Everyone is celebrating it in November, you see.
Mhm.
Pattern.
so it was the birthday of one of the most famous poets of Iceland, and he was a big fighter for Icelandic independence as well. So he was chosen to be the man who represented the day of the Icelandic language. But we don't like get a vacation or anything on that day. We just celebrate it, and I think every year there is like a election for the most beautiful word and the best new word or something like that. Yeah. So people like can go online and they can vote what they think is the most beautiful Icelandic word, and also what is like the best new word in Icelandic vocabulary. Usually something that is connected to like technology or something, because we always have to make our own words for everything. Like we don't take international words and use them in Icelandic. We always make new ones in Icelandic. It's kind of complicated, especially for people that are learning Icelandic. But we like it because we're preserving the language. We're not making it mix with other languages. So yeah. And Yeva would like to tell us a little bit about a tradition from Lithuania.
Yeah, we have this day when we celebrate the coronation of our only king, the King Mindaugas the Great. His coronation was in July 6th, so it's a free day of work for everyone. Well, because it's a very important day for us.
And what do you do on this day?
Usually we have like marches going in the streets. Yeah, mostly that, and a lot of other celebrations like some concerts in some cities, just depending on the year.
Well, in Ukraine we don't have such a holiday because we don't have king or kings, but we have a lot of saints, and there is one holiday that is celebrated all over Ukraine. It's Saint Andrew's Day, and we celebrate it on 13th of December. So there are a lot of traditional stuff you do. For example, one of them is like you can imagine waking up on a beautiful day of St. Andrews and find out that your house fence is gone completely. Yeah, and you like start searching for it, and you can search for it like for 2 days, for a week, and you won't be able to find. And then some months later, when the snow starts melting, you will just find it in the backyard of your neighbor under the heaps of melting snow. So that's the pranks people do, mostly in Western Ukraine. So yeah, it's a thing. They just take your fence off and hide it somewhere.
Isn't it hard to take it up from the ground?
No, because like it made be just the doors of the fence itself, and they just hide it anywhere. Maybe like if it's easy for them, they can hide it on the roof of like warehouse or somewhere else. That's mostly what men do on this day. The girls, like a woman, usually they like do some kind of fortune telling, like to find out who will be their future husband or something. There is one tradition like you should take your shoe and throw it over your shoulder, and where like the shoe will show, like in which direction it will lie, it means from that direction your like future husband will come or something like that.
Can't you then deliberately throw it in some
When
decided way?
I don't know, but it's a thing and it's done even now, especially in villages. We didn't do it, but I know in a dorm we did another like this kind of thing. like you should count like the day you were born. For example, I was born on 13th, so I should go to 13 different people and ask them to write on a piece of paper a male name. After that, you collect all these 13 papers, as for me, and put it under your pillow, and you go to sleep. And in the morning when you wake up, you should take one paper, and the name that is written on them, it's like maybe your future like husband or something like that. And there are a lot of other stuff we're doing, like something like that.
Hungarian people celebrate their first king, 20th of August. It was King Saint Stephen who laid the foundation and who brought Christianity to the region and the pagan uh, Hungarian tribes and united them under a strong Hungarian state and Catholicism. Oh, it's a very good sentence. Yes.
Okay, and I would like to ask you a little bit about your like national holidays or Independence Days. We have our Independence Day on 17th of June, and it was also chosen as a birthday of a man who was really hardworking on uh, getting Iceland independent from Denmark. And yeah, on this day every year we go downtown and like parades and something like you said, Eva, about the King's Day. It's somewhat similar, and everyone gets candy floss and. But it's like there's like a curse on this day because it's always bad weather. Even though it's like in June, it's supposed to be good, but it's almost always bad. And always on 17th of June, there is a woman that is chosen to be the fjallkona, which means a mountain woman. But she's like dressed in a certain traditional Icelandic costume, and only the mountain woman can wear this costume. And she, what is she like reciting poems or something? Yeah, she's reciting poems, and she also, I think she also writes her own like ræða, speech. Yeah, like a small speech. Yeah, and this ceremony is always in front of the Parliament House in Iceland.
Yeah, there's also a tradition that on St. Juni people always get like balloons. Like you get to go to the supermarket and you like choose a balloon. And like, okay, I have actually really funny story about it. Like one time I went with my granddad and he let me like pick out whatever I wanted. So I was like so excited that I got this like silver and like colorful like butterfly. And I walked over to my friend's house to show it to her. But on the way, she was just like finishing her house. She was like finishing building the house, and like there were these nails that were sticking out of the building everywhere. So I was walking with my balloon, so proud of it, and the wind came and like popped it, and I owned it for max 20 minutes, and then it was like done. So like she came to the door and there I like stood with tears in my eyes, like with a popped balloon. Yeah. But yeah.
In Lithuania, we have 3 days which we consider like something similar as in Independence Days. So in January 13th, it's not a day off, but because we only celebrate, we remember the day that people were protecting Lithuania, because in that day people were standing around the television tower because Russians wanted to take over it and like shut off our programs and just to take theirs like hold on our country. But people were standing around it, and I don't know how many people, but I know that some of them were ridden over by tanks, and we always remember that it was because the people who were ridden over, they were just students, normal people, everyday people, not soldiers.
So which year was this?
19, I think 1991. It's not that old. Then we have the Day of Restoration of the Independence, which is February the 16th, and that happened in 1918 because, well, we regained our independence, and the original Independence Day is March 11.
Okay, in Ukraine, we have on 24th of August the national holiday, the independence of Ukraine, and we started celebrating it in 1991 after Ukraine gained independence from Soviet Union. And usually we have a parade in city centers. Yeah, people like have holidays, like days off from work on that day. They don't work, and everyone who goes outside during that day, we're wearing like not the whole national costume, but we're wearing vyshivanka. It's like an embroidered shirts that traditional shirt that everyone is wearing. But celebrating, we have concerts like that, and people sing like traditional songs or something dedicated to Ukraine, to its independence, like patriotic songs. And also, we have another holiday on 22nd of January. It's called like Ukraine's Unification Day, and to commemorate the event that was in 1919 when Ukrainian People's Republic was like connected, like unified with like Western Ukraine's People Republic, because before that year Ukraine was divided by parts, and one part belonged to Russian Empire, the other part to like Hungarian Empire, to Poland, and on 22nd of January 1919 the whole parts of Ukraine united, and after that we're celebrating it every year.
Hi, you're listening to Hugs Online radio show hosted by some volunteers that are participating in an EVS program in Stara Zagora in Bulgaria. And we are talking about traditions in our home countries. And we were talking about the independence days of our countries. And as I said earlier, we have an Independence Day on 17th of June. But then we also have sort of a different day, but it has the same name. But it is celebrated, or it's like a weekend, and it's celebrated in August. And it's celebrated in an island. It's called the Westman Islands. It's a little bit south from Iceland. And the story is that in 1874, then there was the 1,000-year birthday of Icelandic settlement, because Vikings settled in Iceland in 874. So Icelandic people were celebrating the 1,000 years, and it was so bad weather that the people from Westman Islands, they couldn't get to the mainland. So they decided they had to have their own national holiday and celebrate it. So it's always the first weekend in August, and today it is like a music festival, and a lot of people in Iceland go there to the islands, and they get just crowded with people, and we have like the biggest performers there. They sing, and what do you want to say?
It's basically a place where all of Icelandic like young people get together and like get drunk and sit in a hill and sing songs drunk.
Yes, and sleep in tents.
Yeah, sleep in tents drunk.
So there's a valley in this Westman Island, and it gets just full of tents, and people
and trash.
And everyone gets very drunk. Everyone gets very drunk. It's a rule.
Yeah.
I've never been. You've never been.
I don't want to go.
No.
Okay, the thing is guys go up to the hill to pee. So like the pee goes down and you sit in the pee and like people are drunk. Sorry, it just.
Well, people are most in like rain
Yeah,
clothes.
and that's the reason why, because it's always bad weather or it's always raining or
often
something.
bad weather, yeah.
So like I get why people want to go, because it's like a community, like everybody's together and everybody's singing, everybody's just jolly and happy and stuff. But like I just don't want to go.
Well, we have nothing like this in Ukraine, but we have one religious holiday and celebrated on 19th of January. And it's really important religious one. It's called Epiphany. or we also call it vodohreshcha, that means like blessing of water. And unlike other holidays that we have that combine folk and religion, like church, this one is purely religious one. Like it has come to Ukraine with Christianity, and during this day, holy water must be present in every house, and because people believe that water has magical abilities, especially holy water. And on this day, the boldest celebrants they take a dip in a freezing lake, river, or sea. It's like okay, the sea may not freeze, but lakes do freeze in winter time in Ukraine. So they just make a hole, and they make a dip. And it's like a thing everywhere in Ukraine, and it's believed that in this way you can wash away your sins. And also, this ritual brings like strong health to you and fortune for the whole following year.
In Lithuania, we have a celebration. Well, we have only one saint from Lithuania, and we say that he's the protector of Lithuania. His name is Saint Kazimierz. It's like Casimir. And, well, we celebrate his day, but it's like a name's day. But in the name of him, we have a fair called Kazuko Muge. And on that day, in the biggest cities, a lot of like salesmen just build like those small, I don't know, tents and sell a lot of different stuff. And they come from every city, from everywhere in one city. Like one weekend it's in Kaunas, one weekend it's in Vilnius, and in some other biggest cities.
And we have also a religious holiday, Easter, sprinkle on Easter Monday. The men sprinkle the woman on Easter Monday, on early morning, typically, and the woman give man Easter eggs. And besides that, we have repair holiday. It is holiday when the harvest is being finished, and the last repair werf. Traditionally, it was given to the landowner as a present.
Are there celebrations for the first day of summer in your countries? Yeah.
First day of summer in Ukraine, we have like Kids Day, like when the day of protection of kids or something, so kids go out. We have concerts for them, and for example, my hometown, every year on this day we had a competition in the city center. We were drawing with chalk on the asphalt, yeah, and the best one got presents and so stuff like this.
So in Iceland, people or kids just play around in school. It's like a really chill day at school, the first day of summer, and it was like a thing in my family that my mom always bought us like a summer gift, and it was like a hula hoop or a badminton set or something like that, something that you could play with over the summer.
Yeah, I in my family, my parents would also give me like gifts, but they were like really small. But like I knew that like some kids would get like extravagant gifts, like oh you would get a new phone, and I was like yeah, I got this ball.
And then we also have the day that's like the longest day of the year, and it's called Jónsmessa in Icelandic. Jón was a holy man, one of only two saints in Iceland. And on Jónsmessa, the longest day of the year, we are supposed to roll around naked in the dew. Like, do you know what dew is? The water that gets on the ground over the night. Yeah. So you're supposed to be like awake the whole night, and when the dew is there, you're supposed to roll around in it naked. I don't really know if it's supposed to like clean all of your sins away, like you were talking about with the dipping, but I think it could be. Because he was like a holy man and something. Yeah, it could be. But I don't think anyone does it anymore.
We also have this celebration on the longest day. Also, we believe that the dew on the ground in the morning, it has like healing powers. So people used to wash their faces and hands with the water from the ground because it was believed that it will heal you, it will make you like live longer and so on. Also, we people believe that the herbs in the morning are the have healing powers too. So women would go out early in the morning and collect some herbs, and then like keep them for the whole year and use them for healing. We also this celebration is called Jóninnes, which is like the Saint John's Day, but it used to be called Rasoshvente, which is actually the celebration of dew in Lithuanian. Yeah. And in the night before, we usually have like bonfires everywhere. People jump over them. And I also read that it's important, it used to be important to put the fire out in the midnight with clean water and then start a new fire, like the end of the one, I don't know, just kind of like an end of something and the start of something new. Also, girls would make wildflower wreaths, I don't know, like to put on the head from wildflowers. Yeah, like a crown, and it would just unmarried women. I don't know why it's like a girl thing, and they would put them in the water later with a candle in the middle, and sometimes they believed that the side it lands in, it means in that side of the river, the man of their life will come from, or if it would sink, it would mean that their love won't come or something like. Well, they do that every year, so probably like for that year, it's believed. Yeah.
Well, good that they get some love.
Yeah, we have the same holiday. It's pagan again. So we celebrate by the old calendar. So it's on the night from 6th to 7th of July. And it's called Ivana Kupala. And we have exactly the same rituals. So we jump over bonfires, but only couples jump over it, holding hands. And it's believed if you jump over bonfire with your like beloved one and you won't break hands, you will stay together. If you'll break hands, you will break up. So you should like not let go of the hand of each other. We also do wreaths, like the flowers, crowns. But I don't know why we do this. The girls do that and put them on the rivers because they want. Because as on St. Andrew's Day, we always like Ukrainian girls to like do fortune telling to find out who will be their like destiny. So they do it as well on Ivana Kupala. They put wreaths on the water, and where it goes in that direction, they will find their love. They also put candles, and it's believed that the candle that will like burn the longest, those will find love like first. But like guys, usually if they liked a girl and they saw her putting a wreath on the river, they just went and catch that wreath. So she will definitely be like his destiny or something like that. They liked to, make like take matters in their own hands sometimes. Yeah, like this.
Yeah. Also, in this night, we usually search for the flower of fern. It doesn't have a flower, but we believe that if you find one, you will be you can hear all other people's thoughts. You can understand the language of birds, and you know everyone's secrets. So you will be very lucky the year and like successful. Also, if it's rainy that day, that means it will be a good harvest this year, and that the next year during Christmas there will be snow and well, yeah, very cold. And all of these traditions They are pagan traditions. We celebrated this day even before, well, from the very, very old times. And when we were made Christians, we just renamed the day after a saint. Just, I don't know. But we still have the same pagan traditions. Most of them, still.
Yeah, everything the same in Hungary. But I would like to say still that that day have night of museum. So in Hungary, it means museums, all museums, all night open, and free of charge. Yes.
We also have a day of, we call it the museum nights. It's just that you can go to any museum you want and it's for free. But I don't know, it's different time every year, just decided by the museums.
Well, we have in Iceland this night that's called Culture Night or Menningarnótt in Iceland, and we have like a concert and everyone goes downtown and there are like all these spectacles with all kinds of art, and I think it's always on the third Saturday in August. And on the same day we have like the Reykjavik Marathon. So like I used to work at a restaurant, at a restaurant in Reykjavik, downtown Reykjavik, and when it was good weather, everyone went downtown for the marathon at the day, and then everyone went home or stayed at a cafe or something, and then the town would fill up again like after dinner time because everyone was going to the concert and everything. And then we have like these fireworks in the night, and I think last year they had like fireworks off a boat outside of the shore in Reykjavik, which was very cool. And so this is our culture day. So is there anything you would like to add? Any traditions you want to talk about further, or?
We also celebrate the day we call Rodine. It's the Virgin Mary's Assumption Day, when she was taken to the heaven. It's celebrated on August 15th, but it's also the day we celebrate like the end of harvest, because we have all the harvest is already taken down, and well, we're just celebrating that it went good, or not very good, but still.
All the harvest is taken out in August.
No, the fields are cut down. That's mostly about that harvest.
So I think we've covered everything we want to cover today, and we would like to thank you for listening to us. And we have another radio show on Thursday from 2 to 3. It's called Story Time. And then we have the next Hugs Online episode at the same time in a week. So thank you for listening. It was nice, and have a nice night.